Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening depending on where you are in this amazing world. My name is Donovan Jolly, and welcome everybody once again for another amazing video of DIY investing. For today's video, I wanted to switch things up a little bit and talk about my personal journey with crypto, how I got here, some of the trials and experiences I had along my journey, because at the end of the day, you guys watching this channel are mostly watching me in the hopes of making a lot of money. Obviously, that's why we're all here in crypto. Everybody wants to make a little bit of money so that they can hopefully better their own personal lives, whether you're trying to pay off debt, whether you're trying to just pay off your house, buy a car, whatever your goals and ambitions are. That's why we're all here investing together. And today I want to talk a little bit about some of the struggles that I went through to help me get to this point of being profitable. Maybe some of you guys out there are feeling a little bit stuck in the mud, feel like you're taking one step forward, two steps back. You're making profits, but you're losing it all back doing stupid things. This happens to a lot of people out there, more than people would like to admit to themselves. And this happened to me a lot on my journey as well. And so I want to talk about a few things, give you guys some thoughts and perspectives on how to get through all of this, and really just make sure that you guys can get on the right path of profitability today. If you guys are new and just checking out this channel for the first time, always remember to join my Discord server. Links are provided for you in the description. That's where you're going to be able to find my amazing community and congregate with the rest of them. Now, with that being said, if you're a new guy getting into these markets and you want to understand what it takes to be more profitable, how to make better decisions with your money, I have a free ebook, and this is a study guide for new guys that want to just improve their own profitability and make better decisions in the market. Links are provided for you in the description. It's going to be free to download, not cost you anything at all. And with all that being said, guys, let's jump right into this amazing video today. So this is actually going to be more of a vlogging video. I'm not actually going to go over charts. I'm not actually going to go over to anything with my laptop today. I just wanted to actually talk about a little bit more with my personal journey. Somebody on Twitter actually shared a tweet with me based off of something that I shared myself, and they said that it would be a really good video idea if I actually talked about a little bit of some of my personal struggles that I had. So for today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit about what got me into crypto, what was happening before I got into crypto, and how crypto really changed my life. At the end of the day, everybody's going through something on their own personal lives, whether it's something that's kind of major, whether it's just little things that there's kind of an irritation to them. Everybody's going through different stuff. And sometimes the hardest thing is just to know what to do next, how to get out of that funk. And I was in that exact same situation. There was a long period of my life where I didn't have any money. There was a long period of my life where I was really depressed. Actually, throughout most of my teenage years, from the time I was probably about 16, 17 years old, I started to develop a lot of depression. I had a lot of bad habits. I had a lot of narcissistic tendencies, sociopathic tendencies, and bad habits. And because of this was just an amplification of more negativity inside of my life. I went through a lot of struggle. I went through a lot of negativity overall with my own personal mindset when I was younger. And because of this caused me to be very suicidal. I was depressed. I was suicidal. I contemplated suicide a few different times. And honestly, when I was thinking about making this video, it made me a little bit uncomfortable to actually share with you guys some of this stuff, because this isn't normally what you're going to hear about in an investing channel. It's nothing like I've talked about on this channel before, but I felt called to do it today. And when I sat down to do it, I was feeling really emotional about actually talking about it, really uncomfortable. And that's kind of what gave me the courage to just step into it and actually do talk about it. And so if you guys don't like this type of content, that's fine. I felt the need to do this considering where we're at in the bull market. There's a lot of euphoria. There's a lot of good positive emotions going on. But I know a lot of you guys out there aren't going through that same exact phase in your life. Some of you guys might be really struggling right now. So I figured by me talking a little bit about my personal struggles, it might help you guys out that are out there. You know, maybe it's a small majority of you, maybe it's a lot of you. I just wanted to take the moment to actually talk about some of that. And so getting off track, like I was talking about, I was suicidal, I was depressed. I had a lot of different bad habits emotionally with my own, mental habits. And because of this, I actually ended up spending time inside of a psych ward. I think I was there for a little over a week. I don't remember. They diagnosed me with a bunch of stuff, not trying to get into details. But after that, I ended up coming back home. While I was in my hometown, I ended up getting some random charges that I had no idea about get brought up, sent to my mail. I found out that I was getting charged with more or less just petty things. And really all it was for was just smoking cannabis. And unfortunately, where I grew up in the hometown that I did, that is severely frowned upon, and it's really a strong push against that from the police. And so I ended up racking a few different charges, even though I wasn't really doing anything besides smoking. you know, they still racked up those charges. And so I had charges. I ended up going to detention for 45 days. And this was all happening at the same time. Not only was I at the peak depression, I was racking up charges at the same time that I never expected that I would have. I was a pretty good kid overall. I got fairly good grades. Even though I dropped out of high school, that was kind of partially when I got locked up. I got locked up my senior year. I ended up dropping out of high school because of that. While dropping out, I decided to get my GED just because I knew it would look good for my judge. But all of this stuff was really happening at the same time, and it was the craziest point of my entire life. It was right when I was turning 18 years old. I actually turned 18 years old a day before my court date, and so I kind of got lucky as far as not going to actual jail. I got to go to the juvenile one, even though I was 18 throughout my entire stay. So this was just a lot of crap that was going on in my life. And honestly, it doesn't make me feel very good to even talk about this because like nobody at this channel knows that I had to go through some of this stuff. And honestly, I just hope that doesn't change anybody's opinion. But if it does, you know, that's just the way life works sometimes. I've just learned to accept that, you know, I can't have everybody think positive things about me. There's going to be haters out there. But at the end of the day, what I can do as a person is plant seeds, and that's what got me inspired with crypto in general. I thought, wow, I can start this YouTube channel and I can plant seeds and I can help people, show them the ways of which I've profited off of making money in crypto and teach them the ways in which they can do it for themselves. And if you plant these seeds, some of those seeds are going to sprout. Not all of them are going to sprout, but some of them will at some point. And honestly, if you get one sprout out of that entire group of people, you could share it to thousands of people. And if you get one person that just makes something and makes a huge difference out of life, that to me is what really is the most important part of crypto, and that's what got me in crypto. Keep in mind, I was going through all of this crap throughout my teenage years. Right after I ended up getting out of detention for 45 days, I ended up meeting my friend Dallin Anderson at High Altitude Investing. Now, you guys know me and him have had a past together. Me and him worked together. We did the podcast together for a long time. And me and Dallin, he's honestly my best friend. I've known Dallin for quite a few years now, since we were like 16. And I ended up getting out of detention, and for some reason, you know, he invited me over to his house, and we went over there and we were hanging out. The first time I'd actually ever just hung out with him. And really, he was showing me pictures of not pictures, but charts of Bitcoin. He was showing me the price chart on Bitfinex. That was when Bitcoin was worth $450. And it was at that point where I had just dropped out of high school. I had just, you know, made all of these major changes inside of my life. You know, after going through all of that crap, going through court, dropping out of high school, getting out of the psych ward, I had finally just come to the point where I was so sick and tired of how I felt and how my entire life was going that I just made the effort inside of my head that I wanted to be better. I wanted to make better decisions. And it was interesting to me how when I made that decision in my head and when I decided that I wanted to live a better life and I deserved better, it's funny how life just kind of gave me that situation where Dallin magically appears and invites me over, and then he shares with me the chart of Bitcoin, and it clicked in my head. I had actually done a little bit of research on the Federal Reserve, centralized banking, not just in America, but all over the world. And that was, for whatever reason, when I dropped out of high school, I knew I had to teach myself something. So I thought to myself, man, what is the most important thing I could learn about right now so I could actually like live a happy life? And I thought about it. Well, what is the thing that I want most of all? Well, obviously I want money, because money is the thing that's going to make sure I don't have to do all of this other stuff I don't want to do. So I thought, okay, well, I got to learn what the heck is money. So the first thing I learned about was just money. Where does money come from? What is money? What's fiat currency? What is centralized banking, and how does all of that work? And when I started to learn about this, I started to see how scammy the system actually was. And, you know, it was about a month later that I ended up going over to Dallin's house, and he showed me Bitcoin. And when he explained what Bitcoin was, it clicked in my head, and I just knew, wow, this thing has the power to completely solve all of these issues that we have in society. And honestly, guys, there was no doubt in my mind that I knew what this was going to happen. Bitcoin was worth $450. It had just gotten over the Mt. Gox hack. There was still a lot of negative stigma around it. At the time, the only people that used Bitcoin were nerds and drug dealers. And it's funny how I just knew in that moment that this thing was going to be huge. And so what I did, I invested some money. I bought my first Bitcoin at $450 and Bitcoin pumped. It went straight up to $790 and I made a bunch of money. I was so excited. I had never been in investing before, had no idea anything about it, but just that one little bit of profit hooked me. I could not get enough. And the following couple weeks, me and Dallin ended up going leverage long on Bitfinex, and then Bitcoin, it was right at the day of the halving in 2016. Bitcoin had just halved, and we knew with 100% certainty that it was about to go to the moon. And so we threw all of our Bitcoin that we had in a leveraged long, and then Bitcoin crashed 40% or 20%, I don't remember what it was, and we got liquidated. I lost all of my Bitcoin. Bitcoin then proceeded to go to, $20,000 or whatever. And through that period of time, I ended up getting more money. I kept putting more money into crypto, but I wasn't taking it as serious as I probably should until 2017. What happened was I saw Dash, I saw XMR, and some of those early coins like Ethereum start to take off, and it showed me that there's a lot of profit. So then I decided to learn how to trade full time. I went through that process. I went through the trading process. I was not good at it. I lost a lot of money. My first trade though that I ever took, I literally bought Ethereum at $6. At the time of Poloniex, just looking at random Poloniex charts, Dallin sat down and he was like, okay, these are 3 charts that look pretty good. Pick which one you think is a good investment and why, and then we'll trade it. And I was looking at these charts, we were on like 4-hour candlesticks, had no idea of the trend, just a bunch of idiots that know nothing about trading. And I just clicked it, I just said, oh, okay, that chart looks good. And it was Ethereum. I bought Ethereum at $6. And then Ethereum pumped to $8. And I sold. I made 80% gains, and I was so happy. And Dallin was super impressed with me, and I just thought that, I was a genius. And so, I sold it, and then I ended up taking my profit, which was, probably like $500 total at the time, and I threw it into a leveraged long position in Ethereum at $8. And this was like 2.5x margin on Poloniex, and I threw it into a margin position. And I had no idea what was about to happen to Ethereum, and I ended up selling it literally right before Ethereum went to $450 and then to $1,450. I would have made 133x returns had I held that position while also holding a 2.5x leveraged long position at that. I would have been so filthy rich right off of that one trade, and it would have been the first thing I ever did. But I sold. I didn't make that money. I watched Ethereum go crazy without me. And then I watched as all of the other altcoins were going crazy. And so I tried my best to learn. There was a couple courses that were out there, and I ended up using some of those, paying some money for those, and I ended up teaching myself a little bit how to trade. We learned some basic Elliott wave theory. We learned some other basic principles, how to use Fibonacci and things like that. And it got to the point where, 2017, everything was going parabolic. It was like shooting fish in the barrel. It was easy to make money, right? And so one of the common things that I would do throughout the bull market was I'd make money and then I'd lose it all back. I'd make money off trades and I'd lose it all back. And it was because I wasn't managing my risk. I was making the same dumb mistakes. I'd see a market go up way high, I'd get greedy, I'd invest more at the top, and then it would crash, right? And then I'd sell the bottom. And, I'd know that I was doing it and I know I was being dumb, but you just are emotionally charged in a way where you're so immature in the markets, you don't know what you're doing, that your emotions run wild and you make stupid mistakes. And that's what happened all the time. I made some money throughout 2017, but it wasn't very much. At the tail end of the market, I ended up over the course of the final month where Bitcoin went from 3K to 20K, I ended up making I turned $1,000 or $1,500 into 40 grand. It really wasn't even that much amount of money, but in my head it was so much. And then the bear market rolls around. I was a noob, I didn't know what I was doing, and the whole thing crashed. Everything crashed. I lost all of my money. I didn't sell anything. I didn't panic sell. I just held everything, and it ended up going way lower. And when you're at the top of the cycle, emotionally and psychologically, what you're thinking is, oh man, it'll go down a little bit and then I'll just hold on to it. And it doesn't matter if it goes down for a year, I'll just keep holding on to it. But the problem is you're investing into these altcoins as they've built these unrealistic support levels. And there's all this illusionary money propping up the values of these cryptos, but it's literally imagine a hose of water. And you've turned on the hose and the water's spraying out. Eventually, there's only so much momentum that can push the water up before the pressure from gravity pushing down on it is too much, and then and then the stream ends up starting to fall, right? So you can look at trading in crypto markets the same way. These prices are illusionary. Most of this stuff is not actually and should not be valued at these levels, but the reason they are is because of all of this hype, all of this greed, all of this delusion. Dumb money flooding in. They're feeling FOMO. Oh my gosh, my neighbor made all this money. I need to buy this stuff. I'm missing out, right? And because of this, the prices go up, they go up, they go up. Until finally, there's only so much momentum. There's too many people taking profits, the sellers become too great, and then that comes crashing down. Psychologically at the top, people are gonna be convincing themselves in every single way why they should continue holding on to these coins. They're going to continue to talk and convince themselves that, oh, this is a great project, long term it'll keep going up, and I'll just hold on to it. And then the bear market rolls through, and then your investment halves 50%, and then it halves 50%. And then it halves 50%. And you're sitting there like, wait, I thought that it could only half this amount. How is it halving 50% so many times? And then pretty soon all your money's gone. Pretty soon you're below your entry price that you were up, massive amounts of profit. And then you're sitting there, you know, in anxiety. You're losing your money. You're now below what you had at the top of the market. Now you're starting to feel the negative emotions. This is generally why people panic sell bottoms. This is just the way it works emotionally. And even though I didn't panic sell the bottom or anything like that, I held all the way down. And my average entry price was higher than the bottom of the market, so I ended up losing money anyways. So these were all things that I had to go through before I figured out what the heck I was doing. Midway in the bear market, I started to catch on to things. I started to understand how to manage risk. I started practicing better with my trades, and I was actually able to profit. I didn't have very much money at the time because all of the money that I had basically put into crypto at the top, I held. I didn't sell any of it. I just held the coins that I had. So I invested new money into the bear market and traded with that. But it really wasn't that much money because at the time, I was living in my mom's basement. I had just gotten fired. At the top of the market in 2018, I was working for Dallin at High Altitude Investing, and he ended up firing me. You know, no disrespect or no anger towards Dallin for that. I wasn't even hardly doing anything, and the market crashed. Like, we were all losing money. Like, you can't realistically keep hiring all of these people if you're not having a bunch of money coming in like you were. And so this was all stuff that was going on, and I ended up having to move back in with my mom in her basement. I was devastated. I didn't even have a bed. I had a beanbag that kind of like opened up into like a kind of like a mattress, and I'd sleep on that. My back would mold to the floor and it wasn't comfortable at all. And that was literally my life while I was learning how to trade. And that was when I started my YouTube channel. I started my YouTube channel July 3rd, 2018. And it was actually that day, right before the 4th of July, that I made my first video. I was insecure. I was really nervous about doing that. And if you guys watched that first video, you'll notice a big difference. My voice is really quiet. I'm really insecure about talking on camera. And that was how it was for a long time. And a lot of you guys out there who thought about starting YouTube channels, a lot of you guys out there might be making those same mistakes that I did for a long time. But most importantly, just understand that this is stuff that happens to everybody when they try and learn. That's why I always say the best thing to do is kind of buy into stuff and hold on to it, especially while you're learning how to trade. The reason why people end up losing all of their money is because they don't know how to manage their risk. They take all of their portfolio or half their portfolio and they go in on one thing or two things. And then they wonder why, oh my gosh, I lost all my money if it drops. And it's because, you know, you can only take small amounts. You're planting seeds, right? You're taking a small amount of your portfolio, you're investing it into something, and you're hoping that that grows into a big tree. And it only takes one good winter to really blossom that into a big tree. If you would have bought Doge with a couple $100, you would have over 10 grand, you know, sitting on 6 figures off of a couple $100. And I've done this myself many times inside of these cryptos. Anybody can make a lot of money. The problem why people don't make money is because they get greedy and they end up making dumb decisions inside of the market. And so it's important not to actually do all of that stuff. It's important that you guys make sound decisions and you learn from some of the mistakes that I've actually made along my journey. And this is Cujo. For you guys that don't know, this is my new puppy, and he's an Italian Mastiff or a Cane Corso. This is going to be a little bit more of a vlog into my personal life. It's already at 19 minutes long, so it's going to be a long video. But I really just want to talk to you guys about a little bit about some of the personal things that happened in my life, how it ultimately led me to crypto. And to wrap up this video, I really just wanted to take the minute to thank you guys, my amazing subscribers, my amazing community that's out there, all of the people that have supported me throughout this time period, because I appreciate each and every one of you more than you could ever imagine. Everything that I have today is 100% because of you guys that subscribe to this channel. And I'm going to be honest when I say that, because I genuinely believe that and appreciate you guys guys more than anything in the world. You guys are the reason why I'm able to get up and do what I love every single day. You're the reason why I don't have to go work a 9-to-5 job. You guys are the reason why I'm able to pay off my mom's house and do all of these amazing things that I've done over the last few years. And to me, that's the most powerful thing of all. Whenever you can get amazing community of people that support you, that want to see you do good, but most importantly, want to be able to collaborate with you in new ways to help themselves, because that's the thing with this channel, guys. At the end of the day, I was always focused on helping you guys make the most money for yourselves, always focused on making sure that my community was able to profit. You guys were able to get good content from YouTube that you were able to learn from and profit off of. I always wanted you guys to be able to profit off of what I do. I wanted you guys to be able to profit off of what I do off of my free videos that I talk about on YouTube. And all of the people inside of my paid groups and signals, you guys are amazing. The support you guys have given me over the last couple years has been amazing. Most importantly, some of the people that have been able to change their lives inside of that group, I see your guys' messages all the time, and I save them. I take a little screenshot. I save them into a folder on my laptop, and at this point I have so many of them, so many of you guys making life-changing amounts of money, and that to me is literally why I started this channel. It's the reason I do every single thing that I do for you guys on YouTube, and I'm looking so forward to seeing more of you guys do the exact same stuff, because at the end of the day, we're seeing a lot of life-changing profits in crypto right now, but we still have, another 6-7 months left to go of this stuff to close out the year. So there's going to be plenty more profit. The majority of the profit to be had is coming over the next few months. And the people that are here watching this channel are going to set themselves up to make a financial fortune. Whether you're watching me for free on YouTube, whether you're in my Discord server supporting in the VIP, whether you're watching, from your friend, just hearing information through the grapevine. All of that is why I do the channel, and I just want you guys to know how much I appreciate, how much I love, and how much I support you guys out there. I just want to see you guys do good. I want to see you make that life-changing amounts of money, and I want to make sure that my community is able to do that and has the resource and tools at their disposal to make that happen and make the change they want to see inside of their lives. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. As we wrap up this video, as we're getting really far into this, once again, I actually do have a live training that's coming up. If you guys do want to participate inside of that live training, I'm going to go over a little bit on the 4-year cycles. I'm going to talk about really my time frame for when I'm going to take profits, give you guys a little bit of insight on some of those things that you guys have been asking me about. And there's also going to be an offer at the end for the people that do tune into that. And in that offer, it's actually going to be the biggest sale that I've ever done, biggest discount on all of the video course, the signals, as well as my new beginner course that I'm making. If you guys want to learn more about how to set up wallets, how to trade on Uniswap, maybe Pancake Swap, how to stake, how to yield farm, how to provide liquidity, basic questions that some of you guys have probably been having. What is DeFi? All of these things are going to be put inside of that new beginner course, and the people that actually tune into that live training and participate through that are actually going to set themselves up to get that all for free. So it's going to be the biggest discount that I do on this channel. You guys don't have to participate in any of my VIP products. You guys can 100% tune into that live training and just watch what I have to say on the markets, because you're going to be able to get a lot of value out of it. I'm making sure that you guys are going to find value out of this. And for the people that want to join the group that have been waiting, there will be a discount at the end for you guys that do that as well. If you want to reserve your spot, because there is a limited amount of seats available for that, links are provided for you in the description to go ahead and actually reserve your spot. You're going to be able to find that in there. Now, with that being said, there's also the link to my ebook for the people that just want to download that. It's free, not going to cost you anything, but I know that there's a ton of information that's going to help you guys out tremendously. Once again, guys, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much for the support. Thank you all so much for watching these videos. Thank you so much for the hate comments. Thank you all so much for the likes, the comments, the subscribes, all of it. If it wasn't for you guys doing all of that, I wouldn't be here right now, and I'm just so appreciative of each and every one of you. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and with all that being said, I will catch you in the next video. As always, peace out.